Heyo, what's up, Killas? It is your final girl Mel, and this is my killer podcast. And today we're going to be going over everything that I watched in the month of October 2022. These are my Letterboxd reviews. Thank you so much for joining me once again today. If you are new here, I am not only on YouTube, I am also on Instagram, Letterboxd, TikTok. I have a Patreon, and I also have a Discord group called The Movie Room. Wow, why did I almost forget that? Also, in case you guys missed it, just this past weekend, we did a Rad Pack Q&A episode. Thankful for you for the month of November live stream where we took your question videos, your questions that were written, and we answered as many of them as we could. It was a super fun episode. We had a blast answering your questions. If any of you missed it, I'm gonna link that below because it is definitely worth a watch. It was so much fun. I do wanna thank everybody who participated in that video, sending in their questions, because you guys are what made that live stream amazing. I also want to apologize if we didn't get to everyone's questions. It ended up going a lot longer than we anticipated. We almost hit 2.5 hours trying to answer as many questions as we could. But if you did submit a question and it was not on that live Q&A, we will get to it. We are going to plan a second show so that we can answer everyone's questions. So don't worry. But in the giveaways, everybody that submitted a question for that live show, all of those names were entered in my specific giveaway for the show. And Alyssa Milano won the Satan's Little Helper Blu-ray release, brand spanking new. So get a hold of me, hit me in my DMs on Instagram, give me your address and I will get that out to you. Also, Hux Pop Culture Cafe won the digicode for Top Gun Maverick. So congratulations, you guys. I'm super excited for you and I can't wait to give you your guys' winnings. If you guys want to be a part of the next Q&A live show, stick around and we will drop some info on that soon. Like I said, today we're going to be going over everything that I watched in the month of October. These are my Letterboxd reviews for 2022. You guys are going to be very disappointed in me because I did not watch hardly any of my Halloween 13 wish list movies. I don't know what happened. I just didn't get around to it. And it's not that I didn't watch a lot of movies. I watched quite a few movies. I just didn't, and I think maybe I watched one of my wish list movies. But I appreciate you guys greatly for checking in on this video. And without any further ado, let's get into the movie reviews. All right, so the month of October, the first movie I watched was The Munsters. This movie just dropped. Yes, it's Rob Zombie's movie, and people were going crazy over this movie. Crazy in not a good way. The reviews on this movie were terrible, and I had to see it. I had to see what the fuss was about with this one. I didn't watch the Munsters TV show, so I'm not partial to the legacy. So I was curious to know how I was going to feel about this one, and I'm not going to lie, I didn't mind it that much. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. It wasn't great. Some of the performances were terrible, but the cinematography was spot on this movie. The lighting and the coloring, everything about the filming of this movie was amazing, to be honest. Really, it was just Rob Zombie's wife's performance that kind of threw me off. And the story was a bit choppy. It had you going on to think that there was going to be this big climax with the whole loss of their house, but that really wasn't the climax at all. They set it up, it went through the building of the story, it happened, and then they just kind of moved on and there was still like an hour left of the movie or something, and then it just kind of ended without conclusion, or I don't even know. The story was just really poorly written on this one, and that was a bummer because like I said, I kind of enjoyed it. The next thing I watched was Dahmer Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story on Netflix. Holy shit. This series was a banger. I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars and a heart. Evan Peters' performance in this series was outstanding. He is truly an underrated actor. He deserves way more praise than he gets. I did do a written review, so y'all gone over to my Letterboxd and read that. it's worth giving a gander. This series blew me away. It absolutely blew me away. It kind of left you wondering if they were setting up for a season 2, which I really hope that they are, because if season 2 is anything like season 1, it's gonna kill it. It's definitely gonna kill it, and I cannot wait for that. But please check out Dahmer. This series blew me away. It was so good. Then I watched Hocus Pocus 2, naturally. I wanted to check it out. It wasn't that bad. Some of the reviews that I heard were along the lines of it was more Disney and, you know, directed towards children than the first one. But the first one was kind of a children-y kind of movie, right? It was a little dark, but it wasn't that dark, right? I guess I need to rewatch the first one. I don't know. There were some scenes in the movie that were kind of cheesy and whatever. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. I didn't hate it. It was fine for what it was. Was it the epic second telling that we all hoped it would be? No, but honestly, did anybody really think it was going to be that? I mean, it's like so many years later. I didn't go into this movie thinking it was going to be anything more than what it was, honestly. Then I watched Fright Night, the remake, the one with Colin Farrell from 2011. This movie was not as good as I remember. I went into this review thinking I was going to give it like 4 stars or something. I'm giving it 3 stars and a heart. After rewatching it, because this was when Fright Night, the original, came out on 4K, so I wanted to revisit this one. The acting is terrible in this movie. It's absolutely terrible. The story's fine. It goes away from the original telling a little bit, but I absolutely love Colin Farrell, but man, this one did not hold up for me. I then watched the original Fright Night, which I did give 4 stars and a heart. I don't remember absolutely loving this one. It didn't have the nostalgia for me that I did other people. I do like this movie. I remember it from my childhood. It just wasn't The Lost Boys for me, you know. I was really, really digging The Lost Boys, and those were the vampires that I liked. This movie was a little slow in the beginning. The leading character just annoyed the shit out of me, and his best friend annoyed me even more. This movie opened up with like these sound effects. Like the ASMR in this movie is really spot on and bold. You can really hear every single sound. So it opens up with like what I'm assuming the kids are doing is making out or something, but all you can hear is like mouth sloshing and wet sounds for like 2 minutes, and it's horrifying. And then the movie ends that way again. It just really put me off. I really enjoyed the third act in this movie, though. It is super duper fun. And then I got in Career Opportunities. This was the only movie that I purchased from the Kino Lorber sale. I wish I would have grabbed more. I just didn't have time to run through the website a bunch of times and watch a bunch of trailers like I normally do. But I grabbed Career Opportunities because this is a movie that I knew that I wanted. And I watched it, 3 stars and a heart. It's a cute movie. It's worth watching. I'm glad I own it. It's not gonna be a movie I'm gonna watch all the time, but the story's fun and it has some characters in it that are sweet. So that one got 3 stars and a heart. Next up for Voyage to the Bottom of the Barrel, I had to watch Warrior Queen, 1 star, no heart. This movie was boring and nonsensical. So if you would like to see all of our reviews on this one, I'm going to drop the link in my Letterboxd review so you guys can jog on over to YouTube. I also have a playlist on my channel for Voyage to the Bottom of the Barrel because every time we do a show, it's on a different one of our crew's channel. So check out my playlist for Voyage and you can find all the Voyage reviews of these movies. They're super hilarious and fun videos to watch, even if the movies weren't. Then, of course, I had to watch Barbarian Queen for Voyage, which I gave 2 stars, and I did give this one a heart. It's not the greatest movie ever, but it was definitely more entertaining than the other one. So again, if you want to see this movie review, check out my Voyage playlist. I did end up making it out to the movie theater to see Halloween Ends. I went and saw Halloween Kills at the movie theater, so I felt like I needed to see this one as well. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. I didn't hate it as much as everyone else did, but I didn't particularly like it for the ending of this trilogy or whatever it was. This was not the ending I wanted for Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. I don't think this is the ending that anybody wanted for them. But the Corey Taylor story was great. It was great. He deserved his own movie, is kind of where I ended up with that one. I finally got to see Black Phone. I didn't make it out to the theater to see this one, and I'm really sad I didn't get to. And then they dropped the Blu-ray and no 4K, and it annoyed me. And I was trying to hold out for the 4K, and I couldn't wait any longer because I just wanted to see the movie. And when I went to my local Best Buy and they only had one left with a slip, I was like, I gotta get it. So I picked it up, 3 stars and a heart. I was very entertained by it. The story left a lot open-ended on this one, and I needed more story with this one. I needed more pre-story, more backstory, more end story. I needed more. This movie really didn't set up anything that happens during it, you know? So I'm hoping that there's some kind of prequel, sequel, requel thing happening with this one. Hopefully we get just like a whole trilogy of movies that will further explain this movie. But in the meantime, 3 stars and a heart, I did enjoy it. I got my hands on Satan's Little Helper. I was able to watch this one. I gave it 2 stars and a heart. It was okay. I enjoyed it for what it was. Will I ever watch it again? Probably not. I wouldn't recommend this one. It wasn't a good movie. The story was interesting, but the acting was terrible. The cinematography wasn't great. The story had holes in it, so I don't know. It was fine. It wasn't great. Then I watched The Kindred, which is a Synapse release. Satan's Little Helper was a Synapse release, but The Kindred surprised the hell out of me. This is the exact reason why I blind buy movies all the time. I almost get more enjoyment out of blind buying movies than I do buying movies that I know that I like, just because when you find that diamond in the rough, that hidden gem movie that you didn't even know existed, it makes it all so worth it and so fun. You know what I mean? It makes you feel like your purchase was for good reason and you found something special. And The Kindred was that something special. I gave it 4 stars and a heart. This movie was amazing. I did a review on this movie. I will link that video down below. I will link it in my Letterboxd for you guys to go check out, because I absolutely love this movie. And if you guys want to know why, check those videos out because it was so fun. And last but not least, for the month of October, I did watch Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. And once again, this one didn't bother me as much as it bothered everyone else. I don't prefer Pete Davidson as an actor, so I was really hesitant to check this one out. He just annoys me for some reason. It might be his face. I don't know. He has this Pete Davidson way of being, I guess, or the way he acts is very distinctive to himself, and I just don't prefer it. But in this movie, he was very subdued, and he wasn't so over the top like he normally is. And I'm not gonna lie, the ending of this movie really made it for me. So I had kind of a phew moment when I reached the end after enduring all of what this movie is. I don't know, the end just really made it for me. It ended up being really fun. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. So that is it. Those are my watches for October. Everything that I watched in the month of October. These are my Letterboxd reviews. If you are not following me on Letterboxd, kill the description box below. All of my links to all of my socials are down there, and you can follow me everywhere. I'm very active on pretty much everything. Hit me in the comments below and let me know, what did you watch in the month of October? Did you guys finish your Halloween wish lists? Please tell me at least somebody did, and I am very disappointed in myself as well. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you'd like to help support me on my channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and kill that bell for your girl, and share me with your friends if you need some movie reviews or they need some movie reviews. Also, y'all go over to my Patreon and see what's cropping in over there. I'm trying to do new things all the time. It's a super interesting journey I'm having over there, but it just helps keep my dream alive, yourselves entertained, these beautiful lights on, and this beautiful building. Until the next time we gather, have a killer day.